light of my salvation, the one I put my faith in, day and night. Let's go! I won't doubt you for a second, for a second. Faith will be my eyes. So my world is through the wind and now I'm dancing. I trust you all my life. Let's go! Jesus, Jesus, the name that never fails. With me, always with me. I know you make a way. My light and my salvation, the one I put my faith in, day and night. I won't doubt you for a second, for a second. Faith will be my eyes. So my world is through the wind and now I'm dancing. I trust you, yeah. I won't doubt you for a second, for a second. Faith will be my eyes. So my world is through the wind and now I'm dancing. I trust you all my life. Let's go. I trust you cause you're perfect, trust you cause you're good. I trust because you love like no one ever could. Yeah, you are my provider, you are my best friend. You will never fail, you're faithful to the end. I trust you cause you're perfect, trust you cause you're good. I trust because you love like no one ever could. Yeah, you are my provider, you are my best friend. You will never fail. I won't doubt you for a second, for a second. Faith will be my eyes. So my world is through the wind and now I'm dancing. I trust you, yeah. I won't doubt you for a second, for a second. Faith will be my eyes. So my world is through the wind and now I'm dancing. I trust you all my life.
Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Pantano Kids. Hey, we are so glad that you're joining us today. So, it is a new month. It is October, which is the best month, and I love October so much. I love fall. I love being outside, having fires in my fire pit. I'm gonna throw it over to Miss Megan so that way you can hear what she has to tell us about this challenge this month.
Hi friends, me and Miss Melissa decided that it would be really fun this month to do a survival skills game. Today we are going to be doing fire starting. I have never been camping, so I also don't know how to start a fire, but we are outside today and I'm so excited to see if I can start a fire. I know Miss Melissa has a fire pit and like I don't even know what it's called, you guys. It's like a sparker thing, and that's the only tool that she is allowed to have. I don't have that tool, so I'm not going to use it. But we will see how this goes. I'm going to go gather supplies and show you guys what I have found.
All month long. Now, I love camping. I grew up camping. I grew up fishing and being in nature. It's my favorite thing. I love it. That's why I have a fire pit in my backyard so I can have bonfires all the time.
But starting a fire without a lighter is something I have never done before.
So I'm going to gather some supplies. I'm going to just gather some sticks and dry grass from my yard, and then I'm going to put it into a little bundle using as little tools as possible. But
when I'm out in nature, it's important to be prepared, so I always make sure I bring a few things with me.
the first one is twine. If you're ever in an emergency situation and you happen to need twine for something, then you have it. So I always take that with me. That's really, really, really important. It is super important to be prepared. The other thing that we take with us is cotton balls, because you can use cotton balls for so many things, and you're about to see what I mean by that. And then also, this is a really cool tool that my husband and I take with us every single time that we go out in nature.
It is a fire beaner.
So you can cut things with it. It's a carabiner, so you clip it to things, and it has this on the end. which is a flint.
If you don't know what a flint is kind of like a type of stone, and when it has friction, it creates a spark. And that spark will help you start a fire. So this is my only tool I can use. It's essentially like rubbing rocks together.
Okay, friends. So I found some rocks, some sticks and stuff, and then a couple of sticks. So I have no idea if this is even going to work in the slightest. I might be out here for the rest of the night. So stay tuned. I am going to try and start a fire right now.
Okay.
Let's do this. 2 thumbs up. I have sunglasses, aka safety goggles, because this is going to be dangerous if I actually start a fire. First, I'm going to try these rocks. So I saw in a movie once. It's like some action movie or something. But this guy like was hitting rocks together really hard, and the friction, science words, ooh, the friction started a spark, and then the spark went on like the brushy stuff, and it started a fire. So let's see. Chalk. DIY chalk, you guys. Okay. Rocks. It's a no-go. This rock doesn't even feel like it has friction. It feels like a rock. Let's try sticks and see if that works. If that doesn't work, I don't think that I'm going to win, so.
Okay. Let's try the rocks. These aren't even rocks, these are sticks. Oh, come on, Megan.
Okay, these sticks are starting to get hot. Does that mean that there's going to be a fire? Doing a different kind of motion. Oh my gosh, my arm. If this thing starts sparking, I'm probably gonna freak out. Ugh! Oh, this stick just like burned me. It's working. I swear. I'm done. I can't.
Can I do it?
Oh, it's going!
No.
It went out, you guys.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really.
Okay. I'm gonna try one more time. There it goes, there it goes, there it goes. Finally, did I do it?
Ow, that's hot. Don't do what I just did.
Oh wait, my log is catching. Yes. Come on, logs. I believe in you. You can do it. Oh, there's smoke. That's a good sign. I wonder if Miss Megan was able to make a fire like I did. I'm so proud of myself.
Thank you guys so much for joining us this week. Next week, we are going to do another survival activity. I think that it's going to be something with tents, which I think I could probably do a little better with tents than I can making fire with sticks and rocks. So, I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much. Have a great week.
But thank you, friends, so much for joining us today. We are going to dive right into the next adventure. Friends, happy October. October is my absolute favorite month because I
Love fall. Like, love fall. I love everything about fall. The changing leaves, the pumpkin spice, the pumpkins themselves.
In fact, every year, whenever it hits around September, we go to the grocery store and we try to find pumpkins. And every year, it gets earlier and earlier. This year, it was August 30th. And look at what happens whenever I find pumpkins. I hug them. What? It's a little weird. I love pumpkins. Friends, did you know that there's so many crazy things that you can do with pumpkins? This month, we are going to explore some of the cool science experiments that you can do with pumpkins. Since it's a new month, we are going to be answering a new question this month in everything that we learn. This month's question is, does God love me all the time? Even when I'm sad? Even when I'm mad? Even when I'm scared? Even when I'm happy? I'm so excited because we are going to talk about feelings, and I love talking about feelings. Do you? It's okay if you don't, but I'm pumped to teach you guys a little bit about what God's word says about different feelings. If you noticed right before this, there was a new memory verse. I want you to go back and look at that memory verse and see what it says about God's love. I challenge you to memorize that verse this month. I'm gonna do it with you because I don't even know it. So I will work on that too, and maybe next week we can work on it together. Okay, friends, here's the deal. I found out that you can make slime out of a pumpkin, but first I need to cut this guy open.
Okay, this is the best part of the whole thing. You ready? Amazing.
I'm going to make some pumpkin slime.
So first, to make pumpkin slime, you have to have the guts. And I didn't really want to dirty a bowl, so I'm just going to use the pumpkin to be like a bowl. I'm just going to cut some of the guts out, scrape them in. There's a lot of guts in this one. I might have to take some out. Okay, I think we're ready. So the internet says that you need to take 3/4 cup of clear glue. You can't even see it. I put it in a 1 cup because I also have to mix in a tablespoon of water. So I'm just going to use my knife. Now, if you try this at home, you should definitely make sure that you have your parents' permission or that your parents are helping you out. Normally, I wouldn't stir things with a knife, but it's what I have with me, so that's what I'm going to do. So, I stirred my glue and water together, and now I'm going to pour it into my pumpkin. Okay, now that I've poured that into my pumpkin, I'm just going to use my knife to kind of mix it in with the guts.
Do you hear that sound? Gross.
Now I have to take some baking soda and pour that in. I think it's about a teaspoon is what I needed to do. So I'm just going to mix that in. So right now you can see it's not super mixed together all the way. It's not really slime. It's slimy, but it's not like slime like what we want, right? Like I can't take this out and play with it. My hands just get sticky. So I'm going to mix that up.
In our Bible story today, it's about a man named Job. Job is spelled like Job, J-O-B, and his story is so important that he has his own book in the Bible, complete with 42 chapters. That's a lot, right?
Before we keep going, I want you to take a second to think about a time that you felt sad.
So Job, he was a really, really rich man. He had 10 kids. They were all adults, so they lived on their own, but Job still took care of them. He had a wife. He had a lot of animals like sheep, camels, oxen, and he also had a lot of servants because he obviously needed someone to help him take care of all of his animals and his land. Job was not only rich, but he also deeply loved God. Like really, really, really loved God. And everybody knew that Job loved God and that God had blessed him with everything that he had. Job made sure that he always prayed to God no matter what, no matter how he was feeling. And I just think that's awesome because I know sometimes, like, if I'm sad, I don't always want to talk to God. I feel like sometimes it's kind of hard to talk to God when I'm sad, and that's okay. See, Job had a pretty good life, and you guys might be thinking, if we're talking about being sad, why are we talking about Job? Well, here's the deal. Satan saw that Job had a really good life, and he went to God and said, the only reason Job loves you is because of all of the things you have given him. Let me take some of those things away, and I bet that he will curse you and not love you anymore. What? That is so rude. So God said, okay, but you can't hurt him. So in one single day, Job lost
All of his animals, they were either stolen or killed. All of his servants, they were either stolen or killed, and unfortunately, all of his children died in one day.
Messenger after messenger came in to tell Job the bad news of what had happened. Satan had taken everything away from Job, and Job was really sad. Now, slime is goopy before you even add in the activator, and then it's even goopier when you add the activator, and it makes me think a little bit about what it feels like to be sad. Just kind of like blah and droopy. It's not really anything yet. It's just sad, right? So Job was really, really sad, but his reaction was to praise God no matter what. So he expressed to God how sad he was, but he also praised God for all the things that God had given him. I just think that's amazing. And then, friends, Satan said, "Ugh, let me make him sick." So God said, "Okay, but don't kill him." So Satan made Job sick with all of these gross sores all over his body. They were really itchy and oozy, kind of like the lepers that we talked about last week. And it made Job even sadder. So he went to a garbage dump and sat on a pile of ashes, of burned garbage. Some of his friends came to visit him, and they didn't even recognize him. His 3 friends in the story were kind of the worst. In fact, they spent a lot of time at that garbage dump. They spent 7 days in silence, and then Job opened up to them to tell them how he was feeling. And do you know what their response was? They decided to tell Job all of the reasons that he must be in the wrong and how he must be sinning so bad to make God do these things to him. They spent days telling Job all of this awful, mean stuff. Isn't that so heartbreaking?
Now, not only had Job's wife told Job to curse God and die after they lost their kids and their animals and their servants, but
his friends were now telling him to turn away from God. That doesn't sound very great. I bet Job was feeling just pretty gloopy and sad. I bet that he was not feeling his best. In fact, friends, it took 38 chapters of the Bible.
Job now has sores all over his body. He's completely unrecognizable. He shaved his head, he tore his clothes, he's been weeping.
He's so sad. This is like the worst day ever. Have you ever had just like one of those days where nothing is going right? Well, that wasn't just one day for Job. It was quite a bit of time. It's crazy to me that no matter what, Job continued to praise God. But in chapter 38, Job finally told God how he was feeling. In fact, he told God that at this point in time, he would rather be dead than alive. Isn't that so sad? Job had just gotten to the point of just being so absolutely sad that he didn't know what to do. See, friends, Job didn't know what to do, and so he cried out to God, and God finally, in chapter 38, answered him. First, God yelled at Job's friends for the things that they had said to him and told them to go build an altar and burn a sacrifice to seek forgiveness for their sins. So, his friends went off to do that, and God and Job had a long conversation where God said, "Who are you to question my wisdom? Who are you to question the things that I am doing?" So Job, after that conversation, felt very humbled. He was feeling like he couldn't just be so angry with God in his sadness, that it was okay for him to be sad, but by him questioning God, he just was going to continue to be incomplete.
This is where this comes in. This is context solution. This is what's going to make this goopy hot mess that's literally just glue, pumpkin guts, water, and baking soda come to life.
Job went and he built his altar. He gave his sacrifice. He talked to God. He praised God for all of the things that God had done. He praised God for all of the things that had been happening, like losing everything, getting sick. He praised God for that, even though he was sad. And God saw this, and he recognized it, and he gave Job double what Job had. Job had 7 more sons and 3 more daughters, and double the amount of animals and servants and riches that he had before. Because God saw that in Job's sadness, he turned to God regularly. God saw that and wanted Job to make sure that he knew that God still loved him and cared for him no matter what. I just think that that is such an amazing story, friends. I love that even through something like making slime, we can learn about how God makes us whole, how God is the only thing that can complete us. See, Job was feeling a little bit like our slime was before this, where he was just droopy and sad and blah, and being sad is okay. Everyone gets sad, and it's okay to be sad. But friends, when you're sad, what do? Do you think that God cares about you when you're sad? God cares for us all the time, even when we're sad and we think that he doesn't care about us. God's love for us is so big that he can care for us when we're sad. He can care for us in those moments where we just want to go hide under our covers and not talk to anyone because life is really hard sometimes. God cares for us when we're sad because he knows every single feeling that we have. God created us. He knows what we are going to feel, and he knows how to comfort us when we're feeling sad. So this week, friends, I challenge you to talk to God when you're feeling a little bit sad. I hope that you have a so great week, friends, and I will see you next time. Bye.
My heart is singing, for you've been faithful. My heart is reaching up to you. My soul is bursting because you're holy. My soul is rising to give praise. I lift my hands up, I lift my hands up. It's all I can do to show that I love you, God. I love you, God. I lift my hands up, I lift my hands up. It's all I can do to show that I need you, God. I need you, God. My heart is thankful because you saved me. My heart is resting in your love. My soul is standing on your promise. My soul is sure that you are God. I lift my hands up, I lift my hands up. It's all I can do to show that I love you, God. I love you, God. I lift my hands up, I lift my hands up. It's all I can do to show that I need you, God. I need you, God. Teach me how to worship you. Teach me how to worship you. Show me how to pray like you. Our Father in heaven. Teach me how to worship you. Teach me how to worship you. Show me how to pray like you. Our Father in heaven. I lift my hands up, I lift my hands up. It's all I can do to show that I love you, God. I love you, God. I lift my hands up, I lift my hands up. It's all I can do to show that I need you, God. I need you, God.